All right. That's not what I planned on for that particular life. None of that could have been planned. What a day. Man. We admittedly only partially explored a few different things, so we've increased our number of loose ends, haven't we? That's how you do. Frozen Nomai shuttle, yep. Wow. That was a thing. I found a Nomai shuttle almost completely encased in ice. There are 3 Nomai aboard the shuttle. One of them stayed behind to keep the shuttle warm, while the other 2 explored the interloper. More to explore here. Gravity cannon. The Nomai shuttle that's frozen on the interloper can be called home to the gravity cannon on Ember Twin. Yeah. So that's how we get to see what's inside. That's our best chance. I'm guessing that something must have gone wrong on Ember Twin because nobody called them back to save them. Which is not good news for them. Northern Glacier. The North Pole of Brittle Hollow is covered in ice and snow. There is a uniquely shaped Nomai ruin on the surface. The Nomai were able to warp there from Whitehall Station. This is where they first recreated warp technology. There's more to explore here. To use a Nomai warp tower, stand in the middle of the platform on the floor and wait until the tower's corresponding astral body is directly overhead. Nomai noticed something strange. Warped objects appear to arrive at the receiver on Brittle Hollow slightly before they departed on Whitehall Station. This negative time interval between an object arriving and departing was incredibly minuscule, roughly 1/100,000th of a second. The Nomai were skeptical if their equipment could even measure time on such a small degree. The negative time travel interval measured at Whitehall Station was further investigated at the High Energy Lab in the canyon at Ember Twin's equator. Now that could be interesting, because if that is something we can follow up on, that would mean that it might be possible for us to, how do we put it? It might be possible to, reverse time? If we can extrapolate from there. I don't really see us solving time travel in 20 minutes, but still. If we could do that, we could potentially warn everybody and flee the system or something. I don't know if you can really undo the explosion. Yeah, this is a loose end, but it's a loose end that requires a different planet entirely. Yeah. When I was talking about last episode about procrastinating, it's like time to nip this in the bud, time to do this. I was working up the nerve to go inside of the water planet and investigate the remains of this thing. But I have stumbled into other stuff, and I'm gonna follow the asterisks where they lead for now. So I need to spend some more time on Brittle Hollow. We'll have to follow up on the ocean planet later. Even though that is something that it's probably is there an asterisk on that? I guess there technically isn't. Even though it's totally another loose end. I gotta make up my mind. I don't know, this is the new thing. Let's poke around for a bit. We'll follow up on the other thing a little later. They must be so confused when I just take off. Oh, I keep pressing A to brake. It's weird, you press right trigger plus A to launch. There you go. Ugh! Autopilot, you failed me. Okay, autopilot works a lot better when you're out of the gravity well. Accelerating towards destination. Here we go. Firing retro rockets. Good luck making this thing line up. Ooh, that's clearly a thing over there. Oh, I think I'm being pulled in by the moon. Okay, we gotta check out that thing, obviously. Make this a little easier on me. Oops, I keep pressing A. Yeah, you press A to launch, but then you don't press A anymore after that. Because if you press A, you go to velocity matching, which is bad for if you're trying to go up. So someone's probably here. Yep, there's a signal nearby. Unidentified signal. Ugh. We good? We're good? Of course I'm trying to figure out whether or not this is columnar jointing. Seems to just be chunks of when it broke in. Yeah, these are not basalt columns. It's just the general crackling shape of everything. This one emphasized or exaggerated by what looks like an impact. What was this guy? Is everyone unharmed? Says Thatch. Plume. No one was badly injured from the escape pod's impact. We're incredibly fortunate. Thatch. This is good news. At least. Have we heard from Escape Pod 2 or Escape Pod 3? Felix. No, I'm unable to make contact. My equipment can hear the other two escape pods. Distress signals, however. If it's any comfort, both pods must be structurally intact. Felix, I'll continue calling for them. Thatch. My gratitude. If we can. Plume. Thatch, the moon is approaching again. Thatch, everyone brace yourselves swiftly. The volcanic moon has returned. Thatch, be cautious of falling ash and debris. Plume, I believe the moon has passed. Felix, the planet doesn't appear eager to have guests. We are certainly unwelcome on its surface. Thatch, we need to find shelter and quickly. The volcanic moon won't be gone for long. Plume, I observed several promising sites below the surface. But we'll need to construct a way for everyone to climb safely down this cliff. Perhaps we could build platforms. Ooh, trees. This is nonsense and I love it. It's so silly that trees do this. So yeah, it fires like these meteors at everybody. That's what these collisions are you're hearing constantly. This comical, like, space gun moon that just peppers the planet with attacks, while the planet itself... I almost wonder if that's the core or something of the planet escaped. Because the planet's, like, ripped apart. There's two... I guess there's two ripped apart planets, huh? Bit of a surprise there. So this is the distress beacon. So we've now learned the frequency of a distress beacon. So if I get good reception on the moon or something, maybe I can look for other ones. Oh, that seemed close. Are you gonna take out my ship? Can you not? Please? Is that a snowflake? I don't think so. So this is an escape pod and a distress beacon. Gotcha. Yep. Yep, that's all the fuel I get. Gotta remember that. I only have so much liftoff fuel when we're fighting gravity. Probably want to land on these in sequence. See if I can close the gap that way. Oh. Quickly. Alright, cool. Is this where they hid? They seem to be implying that there was a lot of people, so I guess that explains that. Look how many this was a big escape pod. It wasn't just like the 3 or 4 of them that were in the log. Yeah, dozens of people were in these. Ooh, this is looking Mass Effect 1-y. Is this the Codex? Collision imminent, preparing for impact. Oh, there's a chronology to these. Is time stopping when I do that? I think so. Begin flight log. Escape pod 1. Vessel has been mortally injured. Escape. Emergency sequence activated. Awaiting departure from vessel. Collision imminent, preparing for impact. Launching escape pods. It's a little hard to aim this one. Scanning external environment. Scan complete. Minor structural instabilities detected. Pockets of breathable air detected. Adequate solar energy detected. Verdict? Hospitable. That's... how hospitable, though, honestly. Hospitable seems not entirely accurate in this case. But I guess they could breathe here in some places, so that's pretty good by the standards of many parts of space, I guess. Emergency escape hatch. Oh! No, don't break their stuff. Oh no! No! Oh god. Oh god. I see the platforms they made, which are now, as the game put it, thousands of years old, because these guys are ancient, right? Fuck. Wow, what a cool reveal, having the escape pod launch and destroy the platforms and reveal this nightmare below you. You can see chunks of the planet fall off and get sucked into the black hole in real time. God. That's why stuff was falling out. I could be on one of those sections. This is next level cool shit that's not really ever in a video game. I remember the first time I'm just thinking back to like the first time I got totally wowed by like a tech, not tech, well kind of tech demo-y stuff, but it was the trailer for like Uncharted 2 or 3, where he was in a building and the building started collapsing sideways while he was in it, and the level was still playable while it was tilting and everything. I'm like, what? Like that screwed with me, because I'm used to levels being so static in video games. The idea that a game could handle that is crazy to me. So many games today, especially with online multiplayer and netcode, the moment something starts moving and the collision gets so fucky and weird and you vibrate in place, and stuff like elevators are hard for video games to render. So like a fucking multi-directional gravity situation with a black hole in the middle where chunks of the planet throughout the day cycle of this game happening fall into the black hole and teleport to the white hole out in space and are being left as debris around the system is a really impressive piece of tech to show off. Also, this is really visually nuts to look at. Like, what is this? Is this just a light cube? Use caution, a black hole sleeps below. We must not slip. Wait, but at the rate this thing's been blowing up, you're gonna tell me this black hole's been here for hundreds of thousands of years, or however long old these people were? Or were they here recently? Were they here more recently, but they accidentally traveled back in time? Because that'd be trippy. They accidentally like launched backwards in time and became ancient fossils when they're actually from the future or the present or something. Well, it'd have to be from like the recent past. I've left these things behind. Alright, wish me luck, everybody. Some of the stuff I could have landed on is gone. Oh boy. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to fall. Oh, this is the raddest shit. This is a super cool place. Look at that. Also over there, that might actually be columnar jointing. That's hard to tell from here, but it looks a lot more like it. Fuck. I don't know, if it's all blobby like this, then it's not quite there. But similar visual. God, it looks cool. Oh man. Of note, be sure not to wander far from here. Though this area is somewhat stable, it's safer. Though this area is somewhat unstable, it's safer than any we've found so far. Temporary settlement is finished, but remember to be cautious of falling rocks and dust created by meteor impacts. Did I miss a message back there? Was it really only a one-step message? I don't know, it was just a caution message, but probably wasn't that important. I probably didn't have a bunch of lore. Damn. Well, I'm shielded from the impacts, mostly. These are made of the same material that their message slabs are made of. Can they create this stuff with a device they have? Because, like, they presumably landed here in an emergency crash. And it seems like they maybe... Huh. I wonder if it's like Proteans at all. The Protheans were like they were isolated throughout space and just had to... I guess the Angarans would be a more accurate comparison. But like maybe they were all isolated throughout space and had to manually they had to just settle in with wherever they landed and create their own civilizations along the way, separated permanently from everybody else. So any hard impact will make me lose access to a particular spot. Oh god. You can walk along that. Given concerns about our settlement stability, we should construct a new, less temporary shelter. Where should we? We need to stay close to the escape pod so Felix can monitor incoming messages. We can't be rescued if we aren't present to respond. Felix, I don't believe anyone's coming to save us, Thatch. Now we must save ourselves. Plume, I agree. We're here because the eye's signal called to us and we followed. If we're able to find it, we need to not merely survive, but thrive. Thatch, this is a wise point, Plume, and eloquently made. If moving to the northern glacier will keep us safer, then that is what we must do. Thatch, I believe we should migrate to the northern glacier. Thatch, building beneath the crust again would shelter us from the volcanic moon's eruptions. Felix, what if we use gravity crystals to craft a stable path? So it sounds like this will take me to the northern glacier then, if I go up that. But I should check out the local settlement first. Man, I'll probably... Oh shit. Oh shit. I need tree. I'm going to suffocate. I don't think I'm gonna make it. This place is gonna be hard to explore. I'm gonna be constantly suffocating while also, like, I don't know how reliably I'll find the same way into this place, so I'll probably keep getting stuck on different parts of the system. Yeah. My best chance would be to try to land the ship in here, but I doubt I can pull that off. I'm about to suffocate. Nope. Sorry, buddy. Damn. Oh, that's gonna be hard. That place is huge. I need air. Huh. Well, I suppose every time I can technically get deeper in. Interestingly, you can work pretty tirelessly. I can work pretty tirelessly to continually try to find the next thing. In part because of the fact that I'll never get tired. My lives are so short, and then I just respawn in a new body, basically. Escape pod 1. There's so much going on here. Okay. One of 3 Nomai escape pods crashed in our solar system. All 3 escape pods were launched from something called the Vessel, which was badly damaged. Wait. I was thinking something bad happened in the system, like after they were already here, and then they landed here, and it's like, oh no, what do we do? They're fucked. I thought this is post-catastrophe, like I thought this was the beginning of of them dying out, their extinction event locally. But this might have been when they first landed in this system in the first place. That's interesting. Yeah, because they used the hole to develop warp. That's the thing that stood out to me. They're talking about, like, we've redeveloped warp travel or something like that is what they said, and they're like, we don't know if it matched the specifications or whatever. Like, they're having to redevelop technology they already had. The suggestion there is that, yeah, that lines up with the idea that this is their initial stranding that happened, is they landed here in our solar system, and no one's going to come and get them, but they were here on a mission in the first place they were here on a mission in order to find the heart of the galaxy, the eye of the galaxy, of the universe, whatever the phrasing is, the eye of the universe, I think they called it. So they were on a mission to do that. They were on the vessel. The vessel was damaged. They left on escape pods, and this one escape pod might have contained everybody from this entire species that we've ever encountered evidence of in this entire game, and will ever. They might have all originated there. And from there, they used the black hole at the core of the planet, which is convenient for them, to redevelop warp travel and start eventually getting, not just living on this planet, but eventually escaping this planet and navigating around the whole system. And maybe they were able to successfully find the eye of the galaxy. I don't know. Old settlement. The Nomai constructed a temporary settlement beneath their crashed escape pod. The Nomai abandoned the settlement after growing concerns of its stability. There's more to explore here. Yeah, I know. I'm very aware of that. The Nomai decided to migrate from the old settlement to the northern glacier. They used gravity crystals to craft a stable path to the surface. Or beneath the surface. And they're still there, despite all the black holing happening. Conveniently, that's not the parts of the galaxy that have parts of the planet that have been falling off over the last X years. Ah, I just opened my CD tray. Bad knee. Trying to shift into a good, nice lean back controller pose in this chair. Because I'm hunching forward a little too much, and it's not great for back. Okay. So this is getting busy. It's compelling. I'm trying to beat this game in only a few days if I can, just to try to keep it all fresh, which is not always a thing afforded me. But I happen to have a backlog of every other game except this slot for at least a few days. So if I pull this off, I might be able to keep this whole mystery fresh in my head, as luck would have it. The quantum moon. Still waiting out there to be found. Alright. Let's get out there and find Brittle. What did I lock onto for a second there? Dibba-da-boo, 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 dibba-da-boo. That's the Adderrock. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Gotta make sure that we're actually... There we go. Oh god, it accelerates toward destination while not facing it. I initiated autopilot while I was still in the system, which is not a good move. So if I'm careful, I can keep zeroing in on their crash site, which is right there, actually. Yeah. If I try to start each expedition at their crash site, I can more carefully follow up on the path that they took. Preferably, I would get my ship down there, but I just don't know if it's reasonable. I feel like my ship will get sucked into the black hole. There's trees up here, but not down there, is the problem. Well, I'm definitely moving faster this time, at least. So I'll be ahead of schedule. Is that a tree down? Nope. Of course not. Alright. So we're back where we were. So it's a pretty quick trip. The upsides of having a really small galaxy, or a small solar system full of small planets, is you get to actually... It's not that much of a hindrance to deal with the... Let's finish this thought before I keep trying to explore. It's not much of a hindrance, the cycle of getting reset all the time so far, because of the fact that you can carefully poke around and... But you can very quickly get back to the location because the entire area is so small. If anything, it's an encouragement to check your notes every 20 minutes because they're like, it's time to start a new loop. And it's a good chance to like decompress and reprocess everything that you've found so far and potentially come up with new ideas about where you're going to go next. Whoa. Is that the vessel that got attacked by stuff? Or is that the heart of the galaxy? Is the heart of the galaxy actually a ship and not like a supernatural force? The eye of the galaxy could be a structure. It doesn't have to be like the actual eye of the galaxy like I was thinking originally. I want to get down there. That might be a depiction of what happened. Thatch. This knowledge is too dear to lose. Here's everything we can recall about the signal we encountered while aboard the vessel. Felix, the signal was older than the universe itself. This is the most significant detail. Felix, the signal looked like an eye, round, with a circle in the center like a pupil. Suppose the signal was looking for something. Okay, so they don't know what the eye is then. Bloom, no Nomai clan has ever encountered anything like it. How can anything in this universe be older than the universe itself? Batch, imagine what a rare and profound knowledge it might offer. We must find this eye of the universe. Shit. So they saw that, basically. They're looking for it. They basically found the equivalent of, like... Essentially, they're essentially looking for God. Is basically the idea. No. I was trying to see if I could physically break the surface by smashing into it. Surface integrity. Is that always showing up when I'm on this planet? Oh, maybe. I thought it was talking about that platform, because it looks like the stuff I've been able to break everywhere. So I thought maybe I could break it there, and then reach whatever's below. We'll have to get there by walking instead. I'm gonna get very turned around here. Everything's pretty similar. Thatch. Is the hardest part of this tragedy not knowing who we may have lost? Or will the hardest part come later when we learn? Be well, Aunt Mallory. Oh. This might be Thatch's house. Oh. There was stuff in there. Wow. So on top of being a big confusing mess of a location with so much stuff going on because it's an entire city basically, chunks of it fall off. So there's parts of it I need to like race to get to quickly. Ooh, oxygen. Found one. Watch it fall off immediately. God. So now I know there's a bunch of spots on this planet that I'll want to get to quickly if I can. Which, good luck with that memory situation. That thing was full of cool crystals, though. I can't understand. Why did the vessel crash in that place? Plume. Was the vessel unwell in some way? Felix. Okay, they both branched, so let's get to that later. Was it unwell in some way? Felix. No. Anona and I checked before the warp, and the warp core and navigation systems are both well. When it branches in two directions, I'm trying to check both of them, because sometimes one of them is just a dead end, and reading it at the end of the conversation doesn't really make sense, but this time they both branched. Felix. We warped to follow that curious signal from the eye of the universe. Where we arrived was wrong. It wasn't where we tried to go. suppose it wasn't a problem with the vessel, but with our destination. I'm afraid for our friends in Escape Pod 3. So I'm noticing here that, yeah, much like the space logs and conversation, it was less noticeable because I'm reading the text at the bottom of the screen, so I haven't taken as much note, but I'm noticing that the wheel on the right side of the screen stops moving, so time's also pausing when I look at these things. I just haven't noticed because I'm, you know, reading it. And then the moment I even touch a joystick, time starts moving again. So that's the vessel. Yeah. So that's the vessel, that's the eye of the universe. They received a signal. Bad happened. It looks like the Bramble, doesn't it? And then they fired 3 escape pods. Oh. So one escape pod landed here, where we are right now. Look at you can get a glimpse of how big their equipment is I'm using to translate this stuff right now. Or is that my air pod? That's my air on the back of my body, isn't it? That's my air tank. Okay. So this is where we are. One escape pod landed here. One escape pod landed on the binary planet. And one stayed in the Bramble. They could still be alive in there for all we know. And if that's the case, that would mean that name of guy, which is Feldspar, there we go, Feldspar might have found everybody. Oh, that one's going. The one I was right next to. Yeah, you can see why I was worried. God damn.